Hello everyone, my name is Promise Oderaone. Today I would like to touch on a few topics and at the same time uh, discuss a few issues that have been popping up. I would like to touch on GMO, but first thing first, shout out to Davido and Chioma who had their wedding last night or yesterday in America while we were sleeping. It was a lovely wedding to see. Uh, they have been they've been together for a very long time, and love wins. So shout out to David and Choma and all the dignitaries that went out there. We appreciate and love you guys. So now back to the GMO. Um, I've posted a post where somebody responded to a Proco doctor and mentioned that a lot of countries, Western countries, have rejected GMO seeds. So why would Nigeria, be the first to accept or be one of the first to accept GMO seeds in Nigeria? If Bill Gates wants to help Africa, if Bill Gates wants to help Nigeria, and having been in the philanthropy industry for a long time, nothing less than 10 years, um, I guess what he could do is help us with water supply, boreholes, so that we can have artificial irrigation. We have the lands, we have the manpower, we have the sun, we have the weather. What we lack in Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, is water. We saw the quality of water that people have to live on in the northern states, Bauchi, KB, all these places. Mr. P2B have been trying, VDM have tried, a few other people have been trying in their few capacities. And I feel like somebody like Bill Gates, if he really want to help us provide food, organic food, he can. Just help us with borehole in the north. Invest massively in borehole. Maybe have about 20 or 30 machine drilling boreholes, and send them to the northern states, maybe 20 or 30 northern states. Let them be drilling borehole every week or every day. By the time they drill borehole all over the north, and we can have artificial irrigation, to use on the lands and plant seeds, before you know it, food will be everywhere. You have organic food that will fill up the whole continent, not just Nigeria. But instead, they want to do what? They want to control our food by selling us GMO patents, seeds that destroy what you have on the ground that are organic and grow specialized form of, food that cannot be destroyed by pets or insects. Then how do you expect your body to digest it? I've had a conversation with a few people that studied biotech in university and said that's their area of specialty. And I said to them, this is not anything about uh, what its advantages are. It's about control. It's about money. These people don't go where they don't get money. They don't go. They don't go where they lose money. You know. At the end of the day, if you look at Forbes, if you look at the stock market, you see how much Meta is making, you see how much Microsoft is making, you see how much Elon Musk is making. That's the real deal. They want to keep being on that list. They want to keep doing well. That is all that's all it's about. And whoever controls your food, of course, human beings depend on food. It's gonna make a lot of too much money, way too much money. Ask yourself why Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have almost all the farmlands in America. They've bought so much lands, and they know, because they see the exponential growth of people in the world, and they know that at some point food will be a problem, and they believe they are getting towards that point. So that's why they are buying all these lands in America. They own so much land in America, farmlands. So they want to get into food production to control what? To control the people, but at the same time to make a lot of money. These guys don't want to come down from that list. They want to keep staying on that best or the richest list in the whole world. And that's what it's about. So Tinubu giving them access, unless they've had a plan and agreed on how to share the money. Otherwise, I don't see any reason why you will approve GMO. You cannot tell me that GMO is better than organic food. If it is not organic food, it can never be better than organic food. And if you don't understand GMO, all you need to do is to compare organic food that our parents depended on in the villages to processed foods that we have in the supermarkets. Now you buy tin food, you buy tomato in the tin, you buy, almost everything is in the tin, sweet corn is in the tin, everything is processed. Now, if you compare people that depend on that in the cities against those that live in the village that eat fresh food that are organic straight from the ground, or even fruits straight from the tree, they pluck it and eat, as against us that drink from bottles of processed juice and whatever they add to it to preserve and all of that sugar and stuff, you will see that the outcome is not the same. People are very easy prone to sickness. There was a time you don't hear about Africans suffering from cancer and all the rest. But now it is very common: kidney problem, kidney failure, liver problem. All these things is because we have now jumped to processed food. Back in the days, our parents used to drink fresh palm wine, fresh drinks. People used to drink, things, or rely on fruits to sort of get the juice and stuff. But these days, everybody has gone to processed food. Now, fast forward that from processed food, now we are going to GMO, which is genetically modified. The word modified tells you everything you need to know. Why do we start tampering with food? Why do we start tampering with food? For the fact that this is being modified, you should be staying clear from it. You should stay the way nature is, the way nature has made food. So that's my point. Nigeria should reject GMO. Our producers should stop supporting GMO for whatever reason. People have been making money from Bill Gates Foundation long before you even got to know Bill Gates or meet Bill Gates. I know a lot of people that used to just gather a few people, say that they are employed, get 1 or 2 farms, apply for the loan, and they get the money, and they make money in Africa. So it's not about making money. You have to think about your conscience, posterity, your legacy. Don't be part of people that are trying to depopulate the world on the guise of being a global citizen. You don't have the right to take any life. You don't have the right to control people's food. God has placed food amongst us easy, free. You just have to put a seed in the ground and it germinates. And anything that is against that's anti-nature, you should stay away from, right? So that is to say, if Bill Gates wants to really help Africa, help us to have boreholes all over the north. Help us to have water. Help us to have irrigation. Help us to have, there are a lot of farms. We can grow our own crops. Nigeria have one of the best amazing weathers. How long does it take to grow tomato? How long does it take to grow onions? So these are the things that we need. Now, moving on from there, I've been longing to speak on this GMO. So now that is out of the way, I want to advise President Tinubu. You are the leader of ECOWAS, and this is the best time, the very best time to do this. Africa has been trying for the longest time to have a single currency. Gaddafi has tried, Mugabe has tried, and been taken away by the West. Now, this is the opportunity for you, as the Jagaban, as the strong man that you are, and you would like to seem like you are, right? We see what other presidents are doing in Africa. We see what Senegal is doing, have sent France packing. We see what Traore is doing, rejecting going to America and everything. We see what other African leaders are doing. It's time for Nigeria to stand up to the occasion and be the big brother. And what is it that you have to do? We have to unify African currency. We must unify African currency. Kenya has opened their borders to every African country. Ghana, a few other places have made their country visa-free. Nigeria has to follow suit. Why is it that it is difficult for Africans to travel from one African country to the other? But then you come to the Europe. Somebody said EU, I think it was Shane Kuti and Showore when they went live the other day. They were saying that OAU, Organization of African Unity, was formed before European Union was formed. But EU have achieved everything. Even when Greece, that I recently went to on holiday, was bankrupt, the EU came and rallied around them, and today Greece is doing well, at least doing better. You find the same thing in all European countries, whether it is small countries like Malta, all of them have steady power. All of them have, at least you can go to any European country and have similar services that you get in the UK or Germany or France or what have you. So why are we not in Africa uniting? Why don't we have trains that can run from Nigeria to South Africa? Why don't we have trains that can connect Ghana and Nigeria? Why can't we have I recently heard that he's trying to build a highway between Nigeria and Cameroon, and I appreciate that. But more so, as an ECOWAS leader, Tinubu, I am begging you to think about it. Nigeria is in the worst state, and it is the best time. The naira is in the lowest value. So it is more sensible to do it now than when naira is better than other African countries' currency. It's an expo that I'm giving to you. This is the best time to approach other African countries and say, okay, let's unify our currency, because our money is useless anyway. So at the end of the day, they're going to buy into that idea, and we're not going to lose so much if that agreement comes to fruition. So what I'm saying in essence is, let Ghana, let Kenya, let Rwanda, let South Africa, let all of us have the same currency. I don't care what the name is. You can even allow them to choose the name. It can be Libyan money, it can be South African money, or you can even choose a new name for the money. But let us have a unified currency. This is the best time to achieve this. And we must encourage traveling amongst ourselves. Every time they talk about security, my brothers and sisters, there is nothing like security. Everybody, in fact, even Tunde have done a good job in securing or even upgrading our security infrastructure in terms of immigration and immigration. So at the end of the day, we can use our security apparatus, open doors for people that want to do good businesses, that people that want to invest. Every time we are looking for investors, we are thinking Europeans, we are thinking Western people. But why can't we start investing amongst ourselves? Nigerians invest a lot in other African countries because they are more secured there. But what we can find out is when we open borders to all these other people, they are not troublemakers as we think. In fact, most of Nigerian problems are internalized. So it's not actually people from other African countries that we always claim. We know all those things are lies. There might be some element of truth in it, but believe you me, we need a unified currency in Africa. And now that the naira is of little or no value, in fact, compared to other African countries, their money have better value to the dollar, to the pounds. So we need to unify it now. Take advantage of now that Nigeria is the head of ECOWAS. Take advantage of now that Naira is not doing so well, and unify the Naira. Open our borders. It doesn't make any sense for us to be allowing Oyibo to be coming in, getting visa on arrival, but our African borders cannot move around. We need to encourage people going on holidays within Africa. It is very easy for me to go to holiday in an European country. It is very easy for those in America to go on holiday to Mexico, to Colombia, to other American countries. Why is it not easy for people in Nigeria to travel to Marrakech, to travel to Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, to travel to Casablanca? These are countries that have stopped in, obviously, transit. But at the same time, if you open those borders, people can go there. Even though you both travel to Africa more than Africans travel to other African countries, it's not sensible. We have to look seriously into the tourism industry. It is a whole lot of money. There is crazy amount of money in tourism business. Honestly speaking, I just been to Greece. I know how much I spent for the few days I stayed there. All you need to do is to come next to the beach, build nice hotels, provide security. People will just be spending money. In fact, any day you stay in Greece, you have to pay 10 euro to the government for environmental tax. Everything you buy there is 10 euro, 10 euro, 10 euro. It's like the amount of money they make. In fact, that is the only way of making money in Greece. Why can't Nigeria look into that? A lot of people like our Dirty December. We can grow Dirty December and make Nigeria a very big attraction. In fact, people like Bill Gates say that they come to Nigeria for Dirty December every year. A lot of people enjoy it. African Americans, we need to open the door. Look at what Ghana is doing for African Americans. All of them are trooping in, coming to Ghana, investing. Why is Nigeria sleeping? Why is Nigeria sleeping? The money of the cities, the Ghana cities, is making so much more effort. It's making so much. In fact, it's almost, I don't know, I think it's one of the strongest currencies in Africa. So why can't we be like Ghana? When did the president of Ghana come in? How much have they achieved in 6 months? Why is Tinubu taking 2 years and still having so many excuses? And the thing that beats my imagination, people still call him a genius, he's so smart, he's whatever. How can he be so smart? And somebody like the president of Ghana has come in 6 months, have helped them to, depreciate their inflation rate. And look at Nigeria, our own is still getting worse. Even though they are saying it is getting better and whatever, people are still struggling to make ends meet. The numbers of multidimensional poverty, the numbers of out of school children, all these things are way too high. And I think it's time for us to re-strategize, open the borders, and at the same time, we need a single currency for Africa. Thank you so much, and I hope this makes sense to us. and it's implemented as soon as possible because we do need them. Thank you.